Hi, my name is Autumn. I am a mini pig expert. I got my first pig in 2004, and I've had pigs ever since. When I first got my pig, there was no information out there. The internet wasn't, didn't exist. And there were very few books or topics or people who were knowledgeable about pet pigs. I really had to learn everything for myself, just figure it out. So today, what I try to do is I try to share what I've learned over the last almost 20 years. And this way, you don't have to just figure it out like I did. The topic that we're going to discuss today is riding in the car. Does your pig like to ride in the car? Most pigs don't. And there is a good reason for that. Pigs, they get stuck in their own little box quite easily. They're prey animals. So they have a high fear instinct, and that instinct in the wild keeps them alive. When we bring them into our world and introduce them to people things like riding in the car, this can be very difficult for them if it's not something that it's not a skill that has been learned and practiced over time. Now, it's really important to teach our pig to be comfortable in the car. And if they're not comfortable, to at least tolerate it well. We don't want to wait for an emergency situation where we have we have to get them to a vet. It's an emergency. Or the first time we take them to the vet, if we wait a year, we've had them for a year and then we wait till their next vet visit to take them in the car. That's going to be a bad day for everybody involved. Also, what happens if you decide to go on vacation and you're going to board your pig somewhere or someone is going to watch it for you? Then again, not a good situation to wait until your pig is older to introduce them to riding in the car. The younger a pig is when you start to teach them that, riding in the car is safe, that riding in the car is okay, then the better it will be for everybody, even your vehicle, because a lot of pigs, when you put them in the car for the first time, they automatically poop because they're afraid. So we're going to talk about how we are going to get our pig in the car, where will the pig ride, and how to desensitize our pig so that it can and will ride in the car with us. And we're going to go through the steps of how to do that with an older pig. It would even work with a younger pig, and we'll talk about some of the differences and some of the similarities. I do want to specify this, that if you just got your piglet, or if you are planning your piglet for the future, keep this in mind. This is a skill that has to be learned over time. This is not something that pigs automatically want to do. So it's going to take a plan on our part. It's going to take effort, and it's not going to be easy. It puts me in mind of, after you have a baby, packing up all the baby stuff and getting the baby into the car seat and getting the baby into the car, and the drive can be stressful because maybe the baby is crying. And then when you get there, it's like a whole thing, right? It's just a whole thing. So when it comes to taking your pig in the car, it's a whole thing. So you just need to prepare for that mentally, prepare for that in advance, and just know that the sooner you start, the sooner it's going to be better. So my suggestion is, when you first bring your piglet home, obviously you're going to drive to your new home or somehow get them there. They're going to have to travel then. So keep up on it. If you can, once a week, take your pig in the car, and we're going to talk about where the pig is going to ride, talk about all the options, but I specifically like a crate because I feel like a crate is safe. And then it's also safe. It helps the pig feel safe because they kind of like to be tucked in, and it makes them feel more comfortable. Whereas if they have all this space and they're sliding around, it's going to make it more stressful for them. So when you first bring your piglet home, try to plan on taking your pig in the car once a week. If you can do that, I mean, in a very short amount of time, your pig is going to be comfortable riding in the car. And I would just say, if you can run errands, take your pig with you. And now, of course, you have to make plans depending on what the weather is at this time when you get your piglet. Um, if it's super hot, obviously cannot leave your pet in the car. If it's super cold, obviously can't leave your pet in the car. So if the weather is mild and the car is, maybe it's fall or early spring and it's not hot, then it's okay to leave your pig in the car. We do it all the time but I'm very, very mindful of the weather and how hot the car is going to get. Um, if I have a piglet that I am training, mostly what I do is if I have pigs that have a very long trip to go to their new home, then what I'll do is I'll start taking them in the car anytime I leave. I'll just crate them and put them in the car and take them with me. Now, if the weather is hot when I'm doing this, then what I do is I have a shoulder bag that is a pet carrier and it looks like a big purse. And so what I do is I put the pig in there and then I take it in with me, and no one is any wiser. No one knows it's there. It's great. And there are some stores that allow it, like Tractor Supply, which I feel like I live at half the time, Home Depot. And there are actually quite a few restaurants in our area that allow pets on the patio. So I put a harness on them and I leash them and I let them kind of hang out around us as we are eating, a snack or a meal on a patio at a restaurant. And people love it, of course. But I try to do that at least once a week. And then I might take longer drives. My family lives at least an hour away and some live further. So when I go see them, a lot of times I take a pig with me or a piglet with me. That way, of course, my nieces and nephews love it. And it's good for the piglet too, to be around strangers in a new environment and all that. But it also gets them really used to riding in the car. And so it's a great way to train my piglets. So if you can think along those lines, and you have a new piglet or you're bringing one home, try to incorporate that into your schedule. Yes, it's a thing, but just do it. I promise it will be worth all the effort. But what if you have an older pig that has not been in the car since you brought it home, or just maybe once or twice a year to go to the vet? How will you get it in the car? Well, even if you can lift your pig while it's younger and smaller, eventually we won't be able to. So it's really great to plan and train your pig while it's young and small, to get into the car by itself. Some vehicles are low and a pig can hop in. My van is actually pretty low, and so my pig can just hop right in. Now piglets can't. We have to pick them up and put them in. But like I said, I usually crate my pigs. Topanga does ride in the car without a crate. She's been doing it since she was little, but we just go on short drives here and then. Now, what we can do is we can start teaching our pig to use a ramp or even some kind of a step stool or cushion or something to hop up on to hop into the vehicle. And this is going to make your life a lot easier on into the future. Ramp training is quite easy. I have a video planned on this, but it's not that difficult. You bring the ramp in the house and you sprinkle Cheerios on it, or you sprinkle food on it, something that they really like. And then they're just walking on it, right? They're getting used, because a lot of ramps have traction. So they might have sandpaper down so that the pig has traction, or the animal has traction. And then I would just let them walk over, and then I slowly raise it up. I usually put like a pillow or some kind of cushion or something under it, just a little bit at a time, as the pig has to go up further and further to get the snacks. And then I slowly raise it. And you would be shocked at the amount of time that it doesn't take to teach a pig to use a ramp. Now, it's going to be different when it's outside, so plan for that. Really take the time to teach your pig how to use a ramp or a stool or whatever that you would like them to use to get in. Some ramps are stair ramps, and pigs do tend to do really well with those as well. The stairs are very shallow, so they're nothing ridiculous. The pig can use them well. The larger your vehicle, the larger the ramp is going to be, and probably the more difficult it is to teach them. but it can be done. It's done all the time. You can do it. I know you can. Your pig can learn this. You have to be patient. You have to be calm. You have to use good treats. You might have to pull out the really good treats that you use on special occasions. Your pig is going to respond to those. So this is how we're going to get our pig in the vehicle, but where will our pig sit? As I mentioned, the safest place for them to be is a crate that is secured, maybe with a bungee cord or something in the back of our vehicle. That way, if we were to get into an accident or something, our pig would be fine. The crates that I like, there are some soft crates that are really nice for riding in a vehicle. There are the wire dog crates. Probably not my favorite, but if that's all you have, use it. Also the airline crates, which are a hard surfaced crate. And I like those because you can even get your pig in it before getting in the vehicle and lift it up and put it inside if that works better for you. And your pig, maybe you cannot get your pig to climb in, then the hard crate is a good way to be able to get them in. And that's a lot of people, that's what they use because it works. Another thing that you could do is you could just harness and leash them and let them be in the vehicle with you. Depending on the drive and all that, just be careful because then if they do have to go to the bathroom, it's going to be in your vehicle. I wouldn't do that until my pig is really comfortable in the car. A lot of people do hold their pig on their lap. I wouldn't suggest the driver do that, but a lot of people do hold their pig or sit their pig in the front seat while they drive. Just be careful because obviously we don't want an accident. So try to be smart about it. Set yourself and your pig up for success. So choose the place that's best for you. Personally, what I like, and another thing that I've seen done quite a bit is if people have a hatchback vehicle or a vehicle that has a back, but it's in the car, not a trunk, then they set up a space there. They might put the pig's bed. They might put some blankets. They might put a big crate in there with the pig's bed type of a thing so that it's a comfortable space for their pig. And it's almost like, the pig is like a princess. It's in there. It's comfortable and cozy. It's going to make it nicer for the pig it's going to be easier for them to enjoy it. All right. So here's the big question. How do we desensitize our pig to ride in a vehicle? Now, it is very common, especially the first couple times, for a pig to have high anxiety, maybe to be squealing, maybe to be like panicking and like moving around, going to the bathroom. That is very common. I get that call a lot. And just to be fearful overall. So have some compassion. What is something that scares you that would make you go to the bathroom in your pants? This is how your pig is feeling. So try to have some compassion and try to start really slow. Have the patience to be slow about this. The more patient and slow you do it, the better your outcome is going to be. So what I like to do is to put their bed or blanket in wherever you want them to be. If it's in the front seat, if it's in the middle of a van, if it's in the back seat of a car, if it's in a truck in the back seat, not in the back of a truck, but in the back seat of a truck, wherever it is, and put their blankets there. This is going to make it not as scary because it has their scent on it. Like, these are my things. So this is okay. This is okay place for me. And load it with the treats. Put some treats, sprinkle the really good treats in there, and just let them be there. We're not going for a ride. Remember, we're doing this slowly. So we're just letting them get in and hang out there. Maybe we could, clean out our car or do some maintenance in our yard close by, something so that they're just hanging out there and they're enjoying their treats and they're just chilling there. We want to get them as used to being in the car without going anywhere as possible. So we're going to be using that food as positive reinforcement. Sometimes the hardest part of of getting your pig to ride in the car is just getting them in the car. So what I like to do is I like to immediately reward when they get in. Give them a reward, and it's going to help with the anxiety, and I like to reward a lot. When a pig is doing when I'm asking my pig to do something hard, then and they do it, even if they don't like it and they're scared, I want to reinforce that action, that hard thing, and let them know that I understand it's hard. Here's a treat. Enjoy yourself. And that was really good. Now, step 2 is working on getting in and out. So when they hop in or climb up in, they get a treat. When they climb out or hop out, they get a treat. Over and over and over. Hop in, get a treat. Hop out, get a treat. Hop in, get a treat. Hop out, get a treat. Because what we're doing is we're teaching them that when they get in here, they're not trapped. Pigs are prey animals. They do not like to be cornered or trapped. That's when they panic. So if we can let them know by letting them get in and out that they're not trapped, that this is something that they're not going to be penned in, that they are going to be able to get out, then that's going to also help them to become more comfortable more quickly. Step 3, once your pig can get in and out, once your pig is like walking into your vehicle and doing really well, then it's time to close the door and go for a very, very short drive. So just a few minutes. Like for us, our driveway is pretty long. So what I do is the first ride my pigs or piglets get is up and down the driveway a couple times. That's it. Because you want to see how they react to this. And if you are planning a trip to, whatever, the grocery store or Tractor Supply, and that's 30 minutes away, that's a long time to put your pig through something extremely stressful. It's also a long time to stress you out, because if your pig is squealing, going to the bathroom, all of these things, then you don't want to have to deal with that on top of whatever errands you have to run or whatever responsibilities you have to take care of. So short drive, hide some treats in their blankets, do what it takes to make them comfortable. What do they like? Make sure that that you have distractions in there so that they're not focused so much on the drive. And if they do start squealing or making noise or grunting, just talk slow and kind and consolingly. Now, I would do this several days in a row until your pig is comfortable. And yes, I know it's a lot of effort just for a short ride, but it's going to be worth it. I promise. Wait until they're not squealing, wait until they're comfortable, wait until they don't poop, wait until they don't have like this panicked behavior. And then from there, increase those rides, increase those drives, then start taking them for errands and taking them as you're running around. Again, keep in mind the weather. We don't want our pigs to get hurt, and pigs overheat very easily. So it's important that we do not leave our pig in the car when it's dangerous at all. A car heats up very, very quickly. And so we want to be smart about this. Don't think, oh, I can just leave the windows down and my pig will be fine. No, it won't. It will not be fine. So this is my disclaimer here. Be smart about this. Don't say, Autumn said that I could take him in the car on a 90-degree day. No, I didn't. That is not what we're talking about. If you can bring somebody with you so that you can leave the air conditioning on, the car running and the air conditioning on when you run in somewhere, even better. That's probably more ideal. It's going to help your pig to be more comfortable. And then after your pig is comfortable in the car, take them in the car as often as possible. I know it's a lot. I know. But it will be worth it when you do have some kind of emergency or want to go on vacation, or maybe you want to bring your pig to me so I can train it for you. Whatever it is, keep taking your pig in your vehicle so that they can get desensitized to that. And it makes it so much easier. Now, why is it important? As I mentioned, at some point, you are going to have to transport your pig. Pigs can live 15 to 18 years. At some point, something is going to happen where you are going to have to take your pig in the car. Prepare now. Don't make a stressful situation even more stressful by letting them get out of the habit of riding in the car. The longer you wait, the worse it will be. If you put the time in when the piglet is little, then you will have a pig that enjoys car rides. Does your pig travel well? Does your pig ride in the car? What is your experience? Did you wait too long and then kick yourself because you did have an emergency or need to take your pig somewhere? I would love to hear about your experiences. If you follow the Pet Pig Podcast on Instagram, go there and make a comment in the post about this episode. I would love to hear your experiences. If you have any questions about getting your pig to ride in the car, you can always send me a message in an email. You can go to my website, autumnacresminipetpigs.com. You can send it on Instagram, Facebook, Mighty Networks, wherever you're following me, even on YouTube. Anywhere you're following me, feel free to send me a question. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next week.